Good day, brothers and sisters, children of the light, as the Apostle Paul calls us in Ephesians 5. When we read the Bible, I want to have a quick chat with you when we read the Bible. We must remember that it was written to an ancient mind, an ancient people, written from 1415 before Christ to 90 AD, Anno Domini, after Christ. But it was still written to people living in the Stone Age, the Copper Age, or the Bronze Age and the Iron Age. It was written to ancient people, and God spoke to them via his prophets and his apostles anthropomorphically. Now that's a big word, and what it basically means is he spoke to them on their level. He used a reference framework that they will understand. And many of God's teachings in the Old Testament, and many of our blessed Savior's teachings in the New Testament and from his apostles, if we measure it against modern standard, we might think, oh, the Bible here and there, it's not the right reference framework, and and things are described in a non-modern way, or maybe a postmodern or scientific way, and we might lead us to think that the Bible isn't genuine and holy and godly, but it's not true. God spoke to his people, ancient people, in a reference framework that they would understand. And that's actually kind and loving and wonderful. If you and I speak to a 2-year-old, we use words and phrases that would be in that young 2-year-old child's reference framework. Doesn't mean you or I are mentally handicapped because we speak in toddler language. It means simply that we are kind and loving enough to speak to that toddler in a way that he or she will understand us. If a medical doctor speaks to a layperson, they use lay terms to describe things, or else the layperson, their patients, won't follow them. Doesn't mean the doctor doesn't have sufficient knowledge. And so I can go on with the examples, and the same with God. He's holy, divine, almighty, and all-knowing. Yet he spoke to his people in a reference framework that they will understand. One example, for instance, is the example where Jesus healed the epileptic. And it said he was demon-possessed. Firstly, let us not ignore the fact that demon possession can mimic physical illness. So let's not forget that. But secondly, Christ couldn't turn around and say to the people, don't worry, I will heal this young boy. But he actually only has epilepsy. Because they didn't understand the concept of epilepsy, but they clearly understood demon possession in those times, because they were very focused on the spiritual, because of their lack of medical knowledge. In the Old Testament, God speaks about skin conditions. He doesn't variate. He doesn't variate or give different diagnoses or different types of skin conditions, because the ancient mind couldn't understand it. They weren't developed enough. That doesn't make God and the Bible question. We can't question then God and the Bible and say, well, this can't be valid and good, and God can't be all powerful and all knowing if he didn't put things in a more scientific way or more described it more eloquently. He spoke anthropomorphically to people in the way they would understand. Don't let people who make this silly argument, ignorant argument, that because certain statements in the Bible are unscientific or unmodern or not knowledgeable enough, that it means God or the Bible is not a valid, holy, great, glorious document and book. He spoke to them on a level they understood. That's kind and loving. Please go to my website, www.glitterforchrist.co.za. Many videos to watch. And my honest benediction is, may the one true living God richly bless you.